Adopt Me because we're gonna be doing something a little different today. Can you guess what it is, Max?
What?
I'm pretty sure you already know, but we're going to be doing a Peppa Pig house building hacks or something like that. So guys, today I'll be showing you guys how to build Peppa Pig's house in Adopt Me. And as you guys saw from the thumbnail, we already showcased a few rooms. But oh, hi there, you pushed me off. So today we're going to do that. But before we get started, make sure to smack that like button down below and subscribe if you haven't already to be part of the CakeNoms. And also ring the notification bell so you guys know when to join for the next live stream. Also, I do have to shout out to the early birds that joined this. So shout out to Slicer Core, Lauren, Rosa Mund, Liana, Sunny D, Andrea, Noob Plays, It's Dylan, MS, Lizzie Diaz, Safari, Nikki, Lizzie, Ronnie, and yeah, guys, and everyone else that is joining, thank you so much. So we are going to show the big reveal, guys. Are you ready for this? Okay, I gotta go onto one of the podiums up there so you can see this really well. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Wow! Max, this is Peppa's house we are going to be building today. Are you excited to see?
I'm going on the tippy top.
You're going on the top one. So I set up these podiums, these little circle flooring, because then you can take a good look at the whole house. So I'm going to be playing a little clip from when I was building this, and I'll teach you guys how to build all this starting from the bottom.
How much time did it take you to do this?
It took me like a whole day, Max. But guys, it was worth it. Look at this. I'm so proud of this. Oh yeah, Mommy Pig's computer. All right, guys, I will show you how to build all this. So let me go over and switch to my other recording. And guys, you can join me if you would like to, and follow me on Roblox to join my game. I'm going to be switching to a different screen. So this is when I was actually building it. So let me just click that. Oh, guys, make sure to share, like, and subscribe. And also, Fallen Sparky, hello. And Mr. Antro, hi. I got a shout out. Wow, it's Dylan. Shout out to you. That's so cool. Thank you. Okay, now let's switch over to the other screen, and I'll teach you guys how to build it. Because, you know, that's the point. So we're going to start off with 2 or 3 thin floor plates, and I colored them purple at the bottom, and then we put 2 barriers kind of like that, 1 barrier on this side, and then 2 on here. So I'm actually going to bring a barrier from my inventory. I'm gonna buy a barrier, and I will place the bricks on top of the barrier to make a staircase that's like kind of ascending downwards. So as you guys can see, I'm making the top of the staircase, and this I'll be using only 2 bricks. So you just lower the barrier a little bit, and then you place down more bricks to make the second part of the staircase. And I keep on doing this until we have a full-on staircase. This does take quite some time, but the end result is amazing because you can make your own staircases in Adopt Me, which is cool. How long did it take you to build? About 3 hours, I think. Yeah, about that much time. And guys, this build was a bit, it did take a bit long, but the end result is beautiful. So you guys should totally, build this yourself. Okay, and basically there is like, I just keep on making the staircase. I think what will be easier is to make the staircase first and then color it later, because I kind of stopped coloring it there. So as you guys can see, I made the staircase first. Let me just skip over to the part. There we go. So now I'm coloring the staircase, and if it doesn't line up correctly, that's okay, because the first step of the staircase doesn't have to be that perfect and aligned with the floor. So I'm kind of like going like that. All right, there we go. Let's just go back here. See, I placed the last step underneath there, and let me just place back the thin floor plate over here. So that is the staircase completed. As you can see, I'm going to use, instead of a thin floor plate, a medium-sized one because it works better with the staircase since it looks all even now. Okay, let's just skip over to this part. There we go. So we made the floor and we added the wall here. So here's the wall, the orange wall, and I also placed a barrier here. You can pretty much build this house in any house you want. What I recommend is the apartment building because it is really tall, so you can actually build all floors of Peppa's house. Or you can make it in different rooms, which is okay too, because I have another house which I made Peppa's house in different rooms. So you are?
Down, up, down, up,
okay,
down, up,
so over here I'm making the clothing rack, the coat rack, where they hang their coats. I guess, you know, where they hang their coats. And here is like a coffee cup rack that I used because there's no coat hanger, you know, it doesn't exist. So I kind of improvised. As you can see, I placed these cutting boards and I used them. I made them look like they were coats. So let me just, okay, so that's what I did. I just placed a bunch of layers on each other. So I made them look like it was like a bunch, it was really, it looked like a coat, you know, like a full-on coat. So now we have all three coats here. I made it a little brighter because I realized that it didn't stand out much. So you can pretty much paint it to any color. You know Peppa's coat is yellow, right? So that's why I made it yellow. We don't need Mommy Pig's coat. Like, she's not important. I'm just kidding. Okay. Slicer Core says, fruits and vegetables keep us alive. Always remember to eat your five. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, guys. I also made a sculpture of Mr. Potato, but I'll be showing that in another live stream. So stay tuned for that, you guys. Also, I also made a sculpture of Peppa Pig. And for those of you that are in the server, you already saw it. It's at the bottom floor. And guys, I can give you a little sneak peek. Oh, bless you, Max. I'll give you a little sneak peek later to let you guys know like what it looks like. All right. So now I am making a little picture frame that Peppa has next to her staircase, like near the entrance. I'm using shields and I stack 4 shields to make it look square, like that, right? I put it like that. And this will act as the rim of the picture frame, pretty sure. So I'm going to take away this this little thin floor plate and replace it with a medium barrier. And I'm going to add more shields. Okay, over here, I have no idea what I tried to do, but apparently I wanted to make like the rim of it is red, but the inside of it is white. Let me just skip to the part where it's actually correct, because I did end up, okay, yeah, there we go. So basically, you just place down 4 shield mounts and it will make it into a frame, a picture frame. So this in total, it took 8 shield mounts to make, and it is it kind of makes it into a perfect square, you know. So after I did that, I wanted to place down some more. Why did I place? Okay, I guess it's to make it look like it was actually a picture frame rather than, you know how there's like little chunks of it missing? So I had to fill in those gaps. Let me just, there we go. Like that. So here's the picture frame, and you guys don't have to do this either. I'll show you a different way to make the picture frame that's less pricey, and also it looks just as good. So I'm going to do that later in the living room part. I'm just, okay, yeah. So let me just skip over. Let's take a look at, so here is the picture frame that I made, and it is basically I painted the frame of it to an orange color because just like Peppa Pig's house, it has the orange frame. And also I painted 2 of the shields to blue and green, so it looks like it has some kind of design pattern. And you can put this up in Peppa's room because she has a lot of drawings in her room as well. So shields mounts are really good for making like a picture kind of drawing shape. Yeah, because in Adopt Me there's no drawing and the posters are way too big for this. So that's how I made it like that. See, I painted it green and blue just like that. So that is how you make the picture frame. And now we're moving on to the living room right after I color the picture frame. Am I gonna color it? Okay, well, I'm coloring it orange to match the actual Peppa house because we need this to look as accurate as possible. So yeah, guys, that is how you make the picture frame. You can pretty much make it whatever color. And then next, let me just go over here. I placed down some more thin floor plates to act as the wall of Peppa's house. I tried using all yellow along the sides of it so it actually looks like a house. Okay, and then next is the living room. So first I take some of these chairs. It's called the sleek chair and the sleek couch, and I painted them to this purple to match Peppa's living room couches. And next, I grabbed myself a TV, and you know how Peppa has the TVs where it's like a boxy shape? You could add bricks to the TV, like surrounding it, but I just chose to leave it alone because it looks good the way it is. And then I'm going to show you how to make the picture frames, as I said before. So what you do is get a book and then get a barrier and put the book on the barrier and turn it a little bit so it is up against the wall and paint it white so it looks like a picture frame. And then after this, I will use the shield mounts again, 4 of them, to make all 4 sides of the picture frame. And it's that simple, guys. All you need to do is make it like that. And it's okay if the shield mount is the rim of it is a little too big, because I realized that when I was doing that, the shield mounts, the rim of it actually looks better if it's bigger. So let me just skip to the part where it is I'm placing the shield mounts. So here, as you can see, I'm placing down all 4 shield mounts, and that will make it look like the picture frame. There you go. I wish I could speed this up, but all right. So next, after I completed the shield and the picture frames, I will place down a lamp in her living room because she needs some lighting. So here's this floor lamp that I found, and I will change it to a pink color. I think pink looks nice. Originally, her lamp is orange, but pink, we're going for pink. So I did say I was gonna make this as accurate as possible. Okay, well, basically, that is the living room completed, and if you want to add more, then you can. But Peppa's living room is a little empty, as you know from watching the Peppa Pig episodes. Her living room's not that, it doesn't have much stuff, but just a nice place to relax in. And I decided to paint the wall green. But as you can see, the wall was glitching out a little bit. You can fix this problem by adding a medium-sized floor plate to cover up the bottom floor plate so it doesn't glitch anymore. Or wait, yeah, I kind of did that. Let me just use a thin floor plate, but instead of doing that, I decided maybe I could add the thin floor plate to the top of this, so it would be like here all lined up. So there we go, we have that completed. And then I painted it this kind of mint green. And next, you need to place a barrier to get to the next floor, and I made this into the bathroom, I'm pretty sure. So I painted it yellow for now. We're going to add a bathtub, most likely the circular one, because you know, Peppa's house has the circular bathtub. There was this one episode when they went into the bathroom, but they don't have many episodes in the bath. Okay, that sounds weird. All right, so basically I placed the bathtub in this bathroom because all bathrooms need a bathtub. And I'm talking way too much about the bathtub, but that's okay. So, guys, I will show you the finished result, like right here, just as oh wow, that's interesting. Okay, there it is, guys. Let me take a look. So here is the bathroom. As you can see, it's oh, wow. Okay, oops, I fell down a little. So here's the bathroom, and I painted the floor green. I use a pet food bowl, pet watering bowl as the sink. And then I use the barriers to place candles down to act as the sink's, kind of like what the sink is sitting on. And I added a mirror and all that, but I'll show you guys how to make that. So yeah, we are back here. Okay, let me just go back to that. There we go. So now I will be making the sink. And the sink, it's very easy to do. All you need to do is get yourself a pet water bowl. So you get that, and then you get a barrier. So barriers are super useful, of course, because we already used barriers for making a lot of building hacks. So we place the food bowl on the barrier, whatever height you want it to be. I kind of did it like that. So not only does it act as a sink, but it's also a place for your pets to drink water from, which is cool because you have multiple, you have like it has different uses. So here we have the candle. I placed it at the bottom of the sink, and then we need to place another candle to fill in the gap. So I will be getting a medium candle. I'm pretty sure, is that a medium or it's a large candle? Oh, it's a large candle, guys. So I used a large candle, 2 large candles for the pole of the sink. And instead of using a normal sink, like I could have just used a normal one, but Peppa's sink kind of has that bowl shape to it. So I didn't know how to make that. And I just decided to use a pet water ball instead. And then I placed a vanity mirror down, the circular one. And yeah, the sink is completed. There we go. And next, I will be adding the toilet. So for this, I'm going to use the modern toilet since it looks better than the normal one. That didn't look so right because, okay, the toilet should go there, like near that place. There we go. So that you can just mix and match however you would like. And then I placed down a towel rack for the sink because Peppa needs to wipe her hands after she washes her hands, you know. So basically I put a towel rack there. It's pretty simple, and I kind of moved out the bathtub a bit because it needed to be, it felt too empty. And then I placed a cabinet down and colored it white to match Peppa's bathroom. So, oh, Slicer Core says, CakeNoms, I'm being honest here. I've seen many buildings and Adopt Me, and this is the best I've ever seen. Thank you, Slicer Core. I appreciate that. If you guys like my building hacks, then I will make more. Just leave a comment down below. OMG, Peppa toilet. Yes. So here's the bathroom, and now I'll be making the kitchen next because we need the kitchen. Kitchen is important. I don't know what I was doing here, but I was making a ramp. Okay, very cool, CakeNoms. So I'm going to be adding the kitchen flooring, and you can just parkour up there. This house does take a bit of skill to get to, you know, get to the different rooms, but that's okay. Like, parkour is fun, and unless you don't want to parkour, you can just add a bunch of shelves to climb up. Anastasia says, I love it. Thank you. I sub to you, follow, and like your live. Thanks, Toy Planet. Shout out to you. So here we have the kitchen table, this dining room / kitchen. I'm pretty sure her dining room is in the same room as her kitchen. So we are going to add the table there. I use this circular one. It is very small, but it kind of captures like a little cute. It doesn't need to be that big. So Peppa's table actually has 4 chairs, but I only added 2 because I thought it would take up too much space. There we go. But then I switched over to the heart chair because the heart chair looks a bit better than these wooden stools that I was using before. So there's a lot of switching around. And there we go. We have the chairs there. And eventually I decided I would get rid of the stools and I would just use the heart chairs. So here is me just placing the walls of it. This is optional. You don't have to place down the walls. Just the rooms is fine. But if you want your house to be a little more colorful, then you can place down the walls. So there it goes. Toy Planet says, does Max has a YouTube channel? Who knows? Okay, well guys, we will be opening a channel for Max soon. So make sure to stay tuned and I will be letting you guys know what his channel name is so you can subscribe to him. Okay. Oh, hi Max. So we are going to make the kitchen now since I used the heart chairs and the table for that. It's Dylan says, I've been subbed to you before 1K. It's Dylan, shout out to you. Ultimate cake number over here. Dave Morden says hi. Hi. Hi Dave Morden, how are you? OMG Max's channel. Max has a channel of his own. Okay, so over here I placed down a cute fridge. And then next, Peppa has a light in her kitchen. And it is really similar looking to this one over here. I found it in Adopt Me. So that worked out well. Let me just skip to the part where, oh yeah, this part. Okay, so there we go. I placed down a roof for the kitchen. So there we go. We hang up the light and right there. Perfect. So now we are going over to the clock that she has in her kitchen. And I know what you guys are thinking. How do you make a clock in Adopt Me? Well, I used a pet water bowl and I used a sign. So I changed the text to look like a clock handle and it kind of like didn't work out that well, but I used L as the letter, as you can see here. But then later I realized that it would seep through the clock, so I had to put a barrier behind the clock so that the handle can go on the clock itself. So here's me just struggling to put a barrier. Oh, that's too thick. We need to get a smaller barrier. So just to know like the right size, you have to see how the clock circle is sticking out, but not the water itself. So here I tilted it to look like the clock's handle. And guys, this is how you make a clock. But then later I realized that you could have just, I could have just used the, you know, the little arrow like above the 6. You know how you put shift 6? That little arrow, guys, I could have just used that for the handle. So yeah, I decided to maybe use that instead. Look, this is me saying, oh guys, I found an even better way to make the handles of the clock. So if you change, just leave it how it is, but you can change the text of the sign, and I changed it to that, which is a greater sign. And then I realized it didn't look very good. So let me see. I'm very confused. Okay, there we go. So this didn't look very good because the V was too big and the handles of the clock, it didn't fit quite right. So instead of using that, I used the this one right here. Let me just type it out in chat. So this one, this little I don't know what to call that. The little arrow, you know, the little arrow sign. So guys, here, let me type it again. There we go. So I used this right here, if you guys can see that in the chat. I used that for the handles of the clock. And yeah, that is how you make the clock. So next, I fell downstairs. Oh no. It's always pretty annoying to fall and then you have to go back up. So now I made the clock handle and we can now place down a... Oh yeah, so for this, after we finished the clock, I decided that the fridge looked pretty bland because Peppa's fridge actually has some magnets on it, and they are alphabet magnets. So in order to make magnets on your fridge, I placed down a barrier right where you can see like the doors of the fridge, but not the fridge itself. You can see that, and we just used the signs again, but this time I used A to look like the magnet. So you can use any letter you want, but I used A, B, and C because those are the typical magnets. And there we go, A, B, and C. So later I changed them to be lowercase because I thought those were cuter, you know. Okay, there we go. So that is how you make the fridge magnets you see in Peppa's house. Let me just jump back upstairs. There we go. Sell the barrier. Nice. Now we have our living room, bathroom, and kitchen all completed, and we'll be moving on to the counters of the kitchen. So let me just, wow. Oh, actually, before we do the counters, I need to show you guys how to make a window and the curtains that go along with it. So all you need is this type of window, and then you get yourself a cutting board, a chopping board, it's actually called. You paint it whatever color you want your curtains to be. So for me, I painted it green to match Peppa's curtains on her window. There we go. And for this, you do need to change your placement grid size to small. So let me just put that lower there. There we go. All right. Slicer Core says, Cake, Piggy update tomorrow. Can you do a stream, please? Yes, I will be doing a stream on Piggy, of course. So Toy Planet says, I love your videos, live and games you play. It's really interesting. Thank you, Toy Planet. Make sure to like and subscribe and share this video if you want more Adopt Me building hacks or just more videos in general. So guys, this is like how you make the curtains. You just place the cutting boards next to the window on each side. And then here's another hack I made. So this is the coffee cup hack. Basically, as we used for the coat rack before, I'm going to use it same for the window. A little, I don't know what you call that, like the window, the top part of it, where you hang the curtains. So now it looks like it's an actual window rather than just a window with little shutters on it. So that is how you make it, guys. And next, I'll be placing the counters. It is pretty straightforward. You place down the counters, change the colors of it, and I kind of shifted it over. I used a donut oven for this hack. So you just use a donut oven because I thought it looked cuter than the other oven itself. So there we go. We placed down the donut oven, the counters, and Peppa has a trash can like any other house, so we have to place down the trash can. And there we go. We placed down a garbage bin right there for her compost. You know, Max, her compost? Okay. And then we placed down a little glass cup to act as the milk jug that she has lying around on her counter. And there we go. That is the kitchen all completed. And next, I'll be showing you how to make the computer room. You know, Peppa's computer room, it doesn't have many episodes don't really take place in her computer room that much, but I decided to make it because it was fun, and usually that's where Mommy Pig works on her computer. So here is how you make Peppa's computer room, and I will be painting this room purple since that is the color of her room. There. So first, I will start off by placing down a bookshelf. By making a bookshelf, I combined two shelves, as you can see, and then I used some bricks, and I put them against a barrier to make it look like a shelf. So kind of like that, and then I did the same for the other side, except it was already against something, so all I had to do was place down the brick over here on this side, and I colored it yellow, of course, to match the whole shelf. And next, all you need to do is place down books on the shelf to act as a bookshelf. So there we go. We have that little DIY bookshelf for you guys. So whenever you want to make a bookshelf, you can use this hack. So I'm going to place down a few books on the shelf. You can kind of make it tilted. Some books are a little tilted to make it more realistic. Like I kind of did that. It's not saying join game, says Melody. Oh, well, guys, it doesn't say the join game button if you did not follow me on Roblox. So make sure to follow me. My username is CakeNoms if you want to join my game. Let me see if the server is full. I'm pretty sure it's not full yet. Let's take a look. So, is it full? I don't think it's full. Yeah, guys, it's 29 out of 28. So, you guys can still join. There we go. So now we finished the bookshelf. Just place a few books down, kind of like that. And next, I placed a tree down because she has a little potted plant on her little bookshelf, which is a little cute decoration. I painted the jar red. I used a decorative glass, and I put it underneath the tree to make it look like a pot. And I decided to make this a little more that's kind of red. It doesn't matter what the color is, just as long as you have a pot for your little tree. That's really cute. And then next, I wanted to add another clock because she has a clock in her computer room. And just like I did with the kitchen, I used the pet watering bowl. And I had the same problem before. I had to use the floor plate to make the sign overlap the watering bowl. So I have to make the handle of this. And of course, I would use Shift 6 and get that arrow-like handle. So guys, that is how you make the clock. Once again, if you missed it before. And next, I'll be making the table where Mommy Pig has her computer. So this is, I think this is the most genius thing I've ever done in my life. But basically, I put a table there in the center. I put a chair, all right? Okay, wait for it, guys. I added a chair, and it is the heart chair, same as the one in the kitchen. So then I added a laptop, right? I added a laptop to act as a keyboard. And after that, I placed down a TV on the laptop screen because as you guys know, Mommy Pig's laptop / computer is it's not very high tech. It's one of those old laptops, so this kind of makes it look bulkier. But you can't change, the sad part about it is that you can't change the color of the laptop to yellow. But that's okay, guys. You can just add bricks or something. But I think I'm going to leave it the way it is because this already looks pretty nice. Okay, now we are making the little drawer, little filing cabinet or something that she has next to her computer room, or in her computer room. So for this one, I added 2 cabinets, and I decided it looked a bit bland, or the top part of it looked too much like a counter. So this part gets kind of a little complicated, so make sure to pay attention. Oh yeah, I did kind of like that, and I flipped it over. Make sure to use a cabinet, guys. I flipped it over so that the bottom of the cabinet is facing upwards instead of to the top. And there we go. We made the cabinet. So for this to work, if you want to place something on top of it, you have to get another barrier. As I said before, barriers are super important. As you can see, the tree is sunk down. So we need to get a barrier so that it looks better. There. So now we have a barrier so that the tree is actually standing on the cabinet itself. You're so creative, says Techbur. Thank you, Techbur, for your lovely comment. Holy, so many people, lol. Oh wow, we're having a party in the house, right, Max? Mm-hmm. How many people are there? Okay, so next up, we've just finished the computer room, and now we're working on Peppa's Room, I think. Yeah, Peppa's Room comes after this one. So this is the fun part, guys. And it is a bit tiring to make Peppa's Room because first of all, Peppa has a bunk bed. And as you know, in Adopt Me, there is one bunk bed. But the thing is, that bunk bed, you can't change the rim of it to match Peppa's actual bunk bed, which is purple. So I would have to use bricks. And the bricks do take a while to make, but the outcome is good. So also, I'll be making the background. You don't have to make the background, as I said before, but this is just to make it a little more colorful. You see, guys, I had a little trouble rearranging the background, but there we go. All you need to do, if the backgrounds are overlapping, if the colors are glitching, then you just need to place down a medium floor plate or something that's thicker, and it won't go through. There we go. So now I'm going to make her bunk bed, and at first I wanted to make her bunk bed like they were separate, and I would just place the barrier on the wall to make the bed a little higher. But then later I realized that I should just take out the bunk bed itself. As you can see, I have this bunk bed over here. But the thing about this bunk bed is that it comes with the ladder on this side, so it's a bit hard to place it, but that's okay. We have a barrier here, and what I did is I added another bed to the bottom bunk, so this will act as George's bed, because you can't separately paint the top bunk and the bottom bunk. So I made them two different colors by adding a bed to the bottom bunk. And there's two little icons for you to sleep, which is okay because, you know, that's fine. So next I'm going to add the rim of the bunk bed, and this is going to be colored purple, as you guys know from Peppa's bedroom. And if you want, you guys can compare your build to the actual Peppa's room to make it a little more accurate. I tried the best I could to make it the most accurate. So if you want to make, like, I don't know, make it look more accurate to Peppa's room, then yeah, you can do that. Gohan says, I joined, but I didn't know how to find you. I tried sending you a friend request. Well, all you have to do to join me is to follow me on Roblox. And also, my username is CakeNoms, for those of you that are new to the channel. So now we're placing the bricks down to make the bunk bed. And it is super simple. All you have to do is line it up and kind of just, it doesn't have to be very perfect and exact. But I tried my best to make it all evenly lined up, and I had to do it on this side as well, so it didn't look wonky. There we go, we did it on the other side, and I do recommend placing down the bricks first and then coloring it afterwards, so it's not too much work. But yeah, there we go. I placed down the bricks there, and now it's time for the front of the bed. And I know this does take a while, but I promise you the clock takes even longer. Okay, so we're going to move the barrier over here and kind of line up with the rim of the bed. So there we go. So when it looks glitchy and all that, that means that you have it in the right place. So let me just add the rest of these bricks, and yeah, the bunk bed is now completed. Okay, so for this part, Peppa does have a ladder going up to her bunk bed, because how are you supposed to get to the top bunk? So yeah, she has a ladder in front of the bed itself. So I decided adding a shelf, and I ended up realizing the shelf was a little too tall to make to look good. So this is why I added a barrier to the bottom of it, and I kind of sank it down to the ceiling of the kitchen, because then this would be just the right height for Peppa to get to her top bunk, you know? And I painted this purple to match the color of the rim. So if it is sticking out at the bottom, as you can see, the ladder is a little sticking out to the top of the kitchen. That's fine, because what I did for here is I placed barriers at the top of the kitchen so that you can't even see the ladder poking out of the ceiling. And I fell down again, so rip. There we go. So now you don't even notice that the shelf is there. I tried my best to evenly make it even as much as possible so that the ceiling is not all rickety and gross. And there we go. So that is how you make the bunk bed. And I decided to add, why not, to add another bed on top of Peppa's bed, because then it looks like her blankets are bulging out, kind of like in the episodes in the in Peppa's room. They're kind of like circular. You know what I mean, guys? Okay, well, basically the beds are poking out, the sheets are. And yeah, guys, that is how you make the bunk bed. Super easy. And I mean, it only takes a while to make it. The bricks don't cost a lot. So there we go. And now we're making the window. So this is the same window I added in the kitchen earlier. But if you didn't see that or you just joined, then here I'll make it again and I'll explain it. Basically, I use a normal window. I add a coffee cup rack. So I add that to the top of the window to make it look more windowy. And then, great job. Okay, so then we add the curtains. So for the curtains, I used the large grid placement. I kind of had to shift it up a little bit to look better. Like that. I had to change it back to small grid placement. So guys, it's okay. You can just, the placement grid size is there for you to have more freedom in placing down objects. So now I'm going to change it back to the large grid placement to make it all evenly lined up, so both curtains are together. And I changed back to the small placement grid size so that I can make it in that spot. We're going to paint these curtains orange because in her room she has orange curtains. As you can see, we're going to do that for both sides, and now we have both curtains finished. Okay, now getting on to Peppa's Cuckoo Clock. And this is a very iconic object in Peppa's room. As you know, she has a cuckoo clock in her room. So in her room, on the wall where the bed is facing, her cuckoo clock is over here on this side. But since I didn't have enough room to make it, I decided to move it over here. And that's okay because it doesn't have to be that exact. There we go. So what I did for the cuckoo clock, let me try to explain this the best as I can. I used bricks to act as the box, the cuckoo clock, you know. I put those bricks right there, and then I realized that the pet bowl has to be shown. It has to be sticking out to act as the clock itself. So what I did is I had to drag out these thin floor plates I worked so hard to place down and then I have to move them closer to each other to make it look. There we go. So here I try to line it up the best as I can. You know Peppa's cuckoo clock, it's like a box shape, so I'm going to paint it later, but basically what I did is I placed down the thin floor plate again, and I wanted to see if the clock would go through. But sadly it doesn't, so I have to go and use a medium floor plate to make this clock poke out to the cuckoo clock, and of course it did. So the rim, as you can see, the rim of the pet water bowl or the clock is poking out of the bricks, and that is how you make the cuckoo clock. Basically, you just add the second brick there. Make sure to get rid of the barrier so that it is not poking out. There we go. We made it somewhat like that. I wish I could zoom into it, but it doesn't work. Rip. But that's okay because basically I just used 2 bricks and a pet water bowl for this cuckoo clock. Wow. And that is like the house part of the cuckoo clock. We're not done yet, guys. We need to get a cutting board, a chopping board. actually. I don't know why I keep calling it a cutting board. I tried using a ramp as the roof of the cuckoo clock. That didn't work because it was too big. And I was like, hey, I'll just use a cutting board. So I placed down a barrier at an angle. And what I did is I placed down the cutting board on that barrier to act as the roof of that, basically kind of like that. And then later I have to change it to the other side. So I have to make the other side of the roof. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I have a tip, guys. So in order to make it the same angle but on the other side, you have to count how many times you tilt your object. I don't know if that makes sense, but let me show you guys. So what I did here is I put the angle kind of like that. It takes okay. So I decided, that wasn't gonna be right. So I had to measure exactly 1, 2, 3 to get to flat, and 1, 2, 3 to get to the other side. Okay, wow, I'm really not good at explaining this. So guys, that is how you make the other side of the roof. And next you need to add another chopping board to make the other side. So this did take a while, but we have to place the chopping board on the other side and try to match it up as much as possible. It's kind of more like making it's not hard, but you just have to make it look like it's even so the roof doesn't look all wonky and stuff. Unless you want a wonky roof, but that's okay. Like, wonky roofs are fine. There we go. And you just paint it the color blue because that is her cuckoo clock. See guys, the house is coming along nicely. And I'm spending this much time on a little birdhouse. I mean, a cuckoo clock. But it's worth it. So then I realized that maybe if I made the tip of the house go together, then it'll match up more, like dead center. Okay, there we go. So having a little trouble placing down the barrier of it, but that's fine. We just need to add it back on there. And there, so now the roof is almost completed. We just need to line it up again because my clumsy hands messed it up. So there we go. Perfect. Now we have that roof completed. I'm going to shift it up a little bit. I have to make it as even as possible. And next, I place down, I take away the barrier, first of all. I take away the barrier. I delete it or move it somewhere else, right? Okay, move it somewhere else. Okay, I move it somewhere else. There we go. And then I get myself another cutting board so that it acts as the inside of the roof. So it's colored inside. And it looks really, it looks like an actual roof. So as you can see, now both the body of the house and the roof is colored. And for this, I need myself another cutting board. So this birdhouse or cuckoo clock is comprised of 4 chopping boards, 2 bricks, and 1 pet water bowl. But it's taking this long to make. Mushtech says, wow, I just joined the stream, and when I saw this, I was like, oh my god, my sister will love this, lol. It's really good so far. Thank you, Mushtech. Shout out to you. And if you guys want more building hacks or just me building random stuff and Adopt Me, just make sure to subscribe, like this video, and also leave a comment down below. And also, if you want, you can leave a comment on what you want me to build next. Like, maybe I can make something out of a cartoon, such as Peppa's house, you know? Anything is fine. Okay, there we go. Now we place down the house of it, and I think it looks pretty good. So, the cuckoo clock is finally finished, guys. I think that's what we took most time on, like, but that cuckoo clock also needs a handle since it is a clock, so I will be putting the barrier there again to make sure it is poking out through the pet water bowl. Let me move the sign there. So signs are a bit pricey. You really don't have to make the handle, but I do think that it adds an extra touch to the clock because what's a clock without without a handle? Okay. So here's the handle of the clock, and I just rotate it so that it looks like the rest of the clocks in the house, because it would be weird if the handles didn't match up, because then it would be different times in different parts of the room. So all of the handles have to match up correctly. There we go. Perfect. We have to pay attention to this detail. Okay. And then now I'm going to add back the thin floor plates. And next up is Peppa's drawing, or some sort of little, she drew something in her room. She draws a lot of things. So if you pull up like a really quick picture of Peppa's room, then you can see how many drawings she has in her room right now. Oh, hello guys. Wow. Okay, so let me just pull up a really quick picture of Peppa's room. Peppa's room. There we go. So Peppa's room has a bunch of drawings. There's this picture right over here, and it is, this is what it looks like, guys. Here, let me just zoom it out, and can you guys see that? Let me go back. Okay, there we go. Let me switch back to the screen. There we go. So here's Peppa's room, right? So she has a lot of drawings, and this is like her bunk bed and everything. So we have the bunk bed. We have the window, which is painted. The curtains are painted an orange color. And whoa, okay, hi Peppa. So she has a lot of drawings in her room. There's a picture of a fairy. And there's no way I'm going to make all these drawings in Adopt Me, because these are way too small for me to make. So I just used those shield mounts again, and I placed 4 shield mounts together to make the drawing of it. So this is similar to what I made before with the picture frame. Okay, so now I'm going to add Peppa's toys lying around in her room. She has a bunch of toys just out in the open. And I'm typing something I said. Too bad there are no dinos or teddies, ... But there is a teddy box. There's a teddy toy box that you can add just to spice up the Peppa's room, because Peppa's known for her teddy. Oh, wow. Okay, I'm being forced into a corner right here in my server. Hey guys, how are you? Okay, so we're going back. So we're gonna add a box of teddies right next to Peppa's bed, next to George's bed. This isn't in Peppa's room, but I decided to add a little something else, you know, just to make her room look a little more childish. Very, very fun and kitty. Guys, I'm being smushed into a corner. Help. Ah, Max. Oh, okay. Hi, guys. Wow. All right. Sorry. So, hey, guys. Wow. All of you guys joined me. That's great. So, how are you guys doing? Oh, my. Okay. So, I realized my propeller is stuck in the wall. I'm actually not being forced into a corner. Oh, didn't mean to blame you guys for that. Okay. Hey guys, I'm Peppa Pig. If you didn't notice already, I'm dressed up as Peppa herself. And Max, who are you dressed up as?
I'm dressed up as Peppa.
No, I'm Peppa though.
No, I'm Peppa.
No, you're George. You're Georgie
How
Pig.
come I have the Peppa head?
Is this Peppa head?
She's Peppa head.
Oh, that's a Peppa. Oh no, there's Piggy! Everyone run! Oh no. Okay. So we're going to go back to my showcase of the building. And if you guys want more Peppa builds, make sure to like and subscribe. I will be showing you guys how to build Mr. Potato, a sculpture of Mr. Potato, and Peppa Pig in Adopt Me in the next Adopt Me live stream. So make sure to stay tuned for that. So next, what we do here is, after we finish Peppa's room, I'm going to make this into Mommy Pig's room, because I know this isn't shown a lot in Peppa Pig episodes, but Mommy Pig and Daddy Pig actually have a room of their own, and it's only shown in this episode where Peppa dresses up as or dresses up really fancy looking, and she has like makeup and all that, and she has a dress and everything. So she goes and messes up Mommy Pig's room and all her vanity, and steals all her makeup. I'm just kidding, guys. I'm just making this up. So basically, that is what she does. I found this really nice coral pink color, and I think it really matches the floor of of Mommy Pig's room. So there we go. I'll be extremely tuned. Thank you, Sam. Shout out to you. So we have this, we have to paint the wall again because first we gotta start with the wall. And next I will be using a barrier. So I want Mommy Pig's room to be a little bigger than usual because the bedrooms are meant to be bigger than your average like computer room or like a bathroom or anything else, so I decided to add 2 barriers instead of 1. And when it looks like it's glitching out like that, that means it is aligned with the other floor plank. And there we go. We have Mommy Pig's room a little bit more stretched out, so you have more space to build. You have more floor space, Okay, so now we're going to add Mommy Pig's bed. In Mommy Pig's bed, I'm going to use a sleek bed for this. We're going to change the color to yellow. Wow. Ross Cabrera says, CakeNoms is a good builder. Thank you so much. So if you want to see more builds, make sure to stay tuned, guys. And let's see. So we have Mommy Pig's bed. I'm going to put it out to the edge as much as possible to save more room for the inside. So there we go. I'm going to add some bricks around Mommy Pig's bed. This is kind of similar to how I made Peppa's bunk bed, Peppa and George's bunk bed, except we don't really need the barrier this time. We just need to place them on the floor and make it look like Mommy Pig has a rim around her bed. So she does have a purple rim around it. New subscriber. Thank you, Mushtaq. Thank you very much. Guys, make sure to subscribe. Make sure to subscribe. Got little, I tripped on my words there for a second. Make sure to subscribe to become a CakeNommer, and also ring the notification bell. So we're going to place the rest of Mommy Pig's bed, the little rim of it. There we go. We can skip that part. It's pretty straightforward. Okay, so now I'm going to move on to a cabinet that Mommy Pig has in her bedroom. So Mommy Pig has this cabinet. I'll be using cabinets, of course. So we are going to add 2 of these cabinets and kind of make it look like the little filing cabinet that we had in the computer room, because I thought that looked nice. And in order to do this, you need to get a barrier again. So we need to get ourselves a barrier. There we go. We put the barrier there, and we have to, for the top cabinet, you have to change it to a counter for this to work, because then you can place the floor of the cabinet on the barrier, which makes it upside down, and that shows that that makes it look better than how it usually is, because the top part of the counter is white and you can't really change that. So there we go. Now it looks a little more like a cabinet. So all you need to do is make it like that. And next we'll be adding the window. So just like how I did for the other rooms, I'm going to do the same thing. Add the window and then add the coffee cup hanger. I don't know what that's called, but it's the coffee cup. Just search coffee in the search bar and it'll pop up. So you put the coffee cup hanger there, and then you put chopping boards to act as the curtains of the window. If you guys just joined or just want to know how to make the window again, so there we go. We're placing down the window, we're coloring that, we're placing the coffee cup down, and that is pretty much it for the window. So now I'm making Mommy Pig's vanity, and I had a little trouble finding the right table to use for this, but in the end I just decided to use this wooden one right over here because it looked like a vanity table. It had drawers and all that, but the sad part is I couldn't paint it yellow to match the actual vanity that Mommy Pig has, but that's okay. So that's as close as we'll get. And now the best part about this house. We finally completed all floors, all the floors below. So now we are moving on to the attic. And the attic is not really shown in Peppa's episodes a lot. I said this many times, but basically, yeah, her attic is just like a place to store all her stuff. Peppa has a telescope in her attic. I searched up a picture of it. I didn't even know she had an attic until I found out through a little blueprint of Peppa's house. So there we go. We're going to make the attic now. We have to first of all add the floor of the attic, and this part of it was a bit hard to make. I just kept on placing down barriers over here. There we go. So for the attic, I would just use this stacked shelf to get to the attic, and it's not really a shelf because you can climb on it, and it makes it act like a ladder. So there we go. We have a ladder there to get to the attic. And now that we are in the attic, you can place down the rest of your floor. There we go. It's much easier if you're at the top and you're placing it down from above. So we're going to place down the flooring of it. I was kind of unsure of what color to make the floor of the attic, but according to Peppa's attic, it's like wooden planks and all. So I decided to make it this color, this tannish color. And for the wall, I had to make, keep in mind that instead of a normal square room, I have to make the roof of it because Peppa's attic is actually in her roof. So I couldn't really place down these little, what are they called? Thin floor planks. Yeah. So I decided to sell them in the end. Let me just work on the wallpaper later. So now I'm working on the roof part of her attic. And what you gotta do for this roof is to place down some barriers. Make sure they're lined up correctly, because if they're not, then the roof will be wonky, and you don't want a wonky roof, guys. So there we go. How I measured the roof is to make sure it's the same angle. Let me switch back to my live scene. There we go, my live screen. There we go. Hi, guys. George Pig. Oh, hi, George. So here's how I make the roofs. Basically, if I want the roof to be a little at the same angle as the other side of the roof, then I need to, first, I place down a barrier and it has to be directly horizontal to the ground. And then I count how many times I need to turn it. So 1, 2, 3. There we go. So now we have that roof, right? And then I do the same for the other one. I make sure it's horizontal. But this time going the other way, I count 1, 2, 3. And there we have perfect roofs, guys. So this is how you make a perfect roof. It just requires a bit of calculation and math. I'm just kidding, guys. It's super simple. Anyone can make a roof. Oh, I fell down. Oh no. Oh, guys. Okay, hi guys, I'm back. So let's go back to showcasing the actual. Okay, there we go. All right. So now we're gonna build the roof part of it. I'm going to be placing down 2 barriers, and then I place down a thin floor plate because this is actually her roof, like at the top. At the top of her house, her roof is red. So I placed down a thin floor plate so that the roof looks red, and also in the inside, it's yellow. So we have red on the outside, but yellow on the inside. And McDonald's colors, guys. So we have that. And I'm going to finish off the roof by doing that. And then I realized the tip of the roof doesn't meet together. So what I'm going to do is add another barrier to fill in the gap. So I just shift this up a little bit. I add that first. No, wait, I take it away. No, I try to add it as close to that this barrier as much as possible. So I have to slide this down as much as I can. There we go. And next, How did I do this? Okay. So basically, I put the barrier right over here, and then I add the barrier, the next barrier, so that it meets up in the middle. As you guys can see, now that, see, if it is glitching like that, that means you placed it in the right spot. So we need to put it at the same angle. I kind of made it like that, and then I just filled in the gap, just like that. There we go. So now we have the roof finally completed, and see how it matches up in the middle. I had to, it's a little wonky there, so I can't let the roof be wonky. I must shift it a little. So, oh, it's daytime. So now I just color the rest of the roof, and you just make it so that the roof, the point of it meets at the top. It doesn't have to be that perfect, but no wonky roofs, guys. Okay, McDonald's colors, guys. Yes. So next I add the thin floor plates. I was going to add this before, but I realized that it would be easier to add it now, because now that the roof is finally finished, now we have the red floor plates. I used that kind of maroon red color. There we go. We add that to the top, and pretty much I just add the roof of it. We're talking way too much about the roof, so we're going to now talk about the inside of the attic. So in her attic, the most important thing you have to add is Peppa's telescope. And this is what she uses because I don't know who, but like someone is an astronomer or something. Maybe Grandpa Pig, I don't really remember. Or I've never watched that episode before, but they have a telescope in their attic, which is cool. And I'm going to add some boxes, because in attics, usually it's like a storage space. Unless you're like Peppa, where you have like a lab in your attic. Wait, does she have no, she doesn't. No, she has like a whole like map of stars or something. I don't know. Okay, I don't know what I'm doing over here, but I have a feeling that I'm going to be placing the light in Mummy Pig's room, because it is a bit dark in Mummy Pig's room. You can place as many lights as possible. Usually for the light, I use the ceiling light, and I place it in somewhere you don't know. So like behind something, or like inside an object that you wouldn't suspect. So it looks like it's just some natural light coming out of her room. Or you can make a lamp like me and just place down a pot, a decorative pot with a candle as where the pot is hanging from. So I had to shift this up a little bit to make it look like an actual light bulb. And this circular light is kind of the style that they use in Mummy Pig's room. They use this type of light a lot in Peppa Pig episodes. So that's probably why I used a decorative pot instead of just a normal lamp. Let me show you what I mean about the light bulb. So if I were to search up Mommy Pig and Daddy Pig's room, then it would come up, and basically there is a light. It's kind of like a little lantern. It looks really cute. So here's the light bulb, and you see that circular thing at the top, like at the top right of it? That is what the light looks like. So I kind of went for that style of the lamp. I don't know why this is so important, but guys, you know what? So there we go. We have the lamp there. And now we're working on the light bulb. So in her attic, she has this exact light bulb light. And I was like so surprised when I found a light that looked exactly like it. So this is a little bit far down, so I decided to place the barrier a little higher up, so that we can see how the light is hanging from the roof of the attic. So let me just pull up a quick little, there we go. This might not be that accurate, but guys, look at this. So here we have okay. So this is the light bulb in Peppa's attic, and that is what I'm going for. So there we go. This is the light bulb that we found in Adopt Me. So yeah, it's pretty much the same one, same exact one. And now in the attic, you just gotta add a bunch of junk because the picture I showed you before had a bunch of randomness. There's a treasure chest in it too. I kind of used this toy as an example. You see how there's a treasure chest, there's some boxes, there's a lamp, there's a telescope, and of course the light bulb. And guys, let me just zoom into it. And that's Zoe Zebra. I don't know why she's what is she doing in Peppa's house? All right. Well, that's Zoe Zebra. But yeah, you just have to add a bunch of junk in Peppa's house. And I couldn't find a box, so I improvised and I used a teddy bear toy box. But I just put the barrier on the wall and I made the teddy bear toy box a little I made it upside down. So that's how it is, you know. So instead of the teddy bears poking out, we have a normal box, just a normal box, you know, for storing things. And you can find a cardboard box in the in Adopt Me. So that's really cool. I use some of those as well. So not only do we have small boxes, but we have the big one because you can use Peppa's toy teddy box to make your own box, you know. So this is good for making like an attic or anything, or if you want to just make it look like you're storing stuff. You can use this hack. It's super easy to do. You just need to place down a barrier and place down the teddy bear on the barrier upside down. Teddy bear box. So next I'll just be making a little tilted so it looks pretty natural, like someone just tossed it up here in the attic. There we go. So now we have a bunch of junk in her attic, and that is pretty much like how you make the attic. Oh, and I found this really cool looking magic suitcase to use. So this is really nice, gives that attic feel to it. Yeah, so that is how you make the attic. I'm just going to be adding a few more decorations to make it look a little more messy because her attic is really messy. It's an attic, so you know we're going to make it have a little more stuff. Yeah, there we go. Oh, and guys, I have a feeling that maybe Grandpa Pig studies like astronomy, so that's why they have a telescope in their attic, and they actually have a hole in their roof. But I have no idea how I'm supposed to make a hole in the roof, so I just decided to add a telescope. The telescope's poking out of the hole too, and that might be a safety hazard because what if like some rain comes in, like floods the house, you know? But I'm glad my Peppa house doesn't have a hole in the roof, guys. There we go. So that is the attic finally completed. Actually, never mind, because I'm going to add a few more items in here. This little briefcase that Daddy Pig has. You know, he brings it to work every day, but I guess he left it in the attic for some reason. And then we have a few bottles. You know, just some bottles lying around. I decided not to add plants here because why would you be storing plants in your attic? That's not very good for the plants. There's no sunlight or anything. And also, who's gonna water it? No one comes to their attic frequently on a daily basis. So that is pretty much the attic completed. You just add a bunch of items. Yeah, that's it, guys. So we finally completed the whole Peppa Pig house, and I really hope you guys did enjoy this and found this useful. You know, if you want to build this, make sure to follow along. I did it step by step. So guys, here is the finished result, and it is what it looks like from bottom to top. So first we have to go upstairs. Here is the living room where Peppa and Mommy Pig and all her family hang out. Here's the bathroom. This is her circular tub. And here's the kitchen. We got the ABC magnet letters on her fridge. And the computer room. As you can see, this is Mommy's computer. Olden days computer. And then we have Peppa's room. Peppa's room has a bunk bed. Mommy Pig's room, and that's her vanity. And her cabinet and her light bulb, of course. And last but not least is the attic. So guys, if you did enjoy, make sure to leave a big fat thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already to be a cake nommer. And guys, now I'll be showing you what I kind of built this, what I kind of referenced. I kind of used this as a reference. As you can see, it is Peppa's house. Can you guys see that? Yeah. So here is the living room, kitchen, Peppa's room, the bathroom, Mommy Pig's computer room, Mommy Pig's room, and last, the attic. So if you want me to do more Peppa Pig themed builds and adopt me, make sure to smack that like button down below, subscribe if you want to be part of the Cake Nommers, and also ring the notification bell to get notified for when I post a video. Let's go back to the house. Why am I all the way down here? I don't know. Ooh, someone gave me a soccer ball. Thank you. Oh, hi guys. So in the next video, I'll be showing you how to make Mr. Potato, this beautiful man. Wow, look at him. He's so beautiful, and it says fruits and vegetables keep us alive. So here's Mr. Potato in all its glory. I'll be showing you guys how to make that step by step in the next live stream. Stay tuned for that. And here is a little Peppa Pig. It doesn't really look like Peppa herself, but it's a pig, and it's I went for the cute look. So there you go, guys. If you want to know how to make this build, make sure to stay tuned for more and comment down below which room of this Peppa Pig house was your favorite. Okay. Well, guys, now we'll be, oh yeah. So everyone here, thank you guys for so much for just joining the server. And I really do appreciate you taking time out of your day to do that. So let's go get our propeller, airplane propeller. There we go. So here is what the full thing looks like. There we go. Oh, wow. Okay, I'm sorry, George. I had to drop you a little. Okay, there we go. Here is what the whole house looks like. So we have the living room, bathroom, kitchen, computer room, Peppa's bedroom, Mommy Pig's room, and of course, the attic. Guys, if you want me to do more builds, make sure to comment down below what you want me to build next. And like this video, subscribe, and stay tuned for more. Also, Chase K, shout out to you. Alice Jalen, shout out to you. George, shout out to you. I'm serious. CakeNoms, are you about to play Piggy? I will do a Piggy video live stream when the new chapter 8 comes out. Stay tuned for that, you guys. Wow. Hey guys, what's up? So thank you guys so much for joining this building hacks video, and make sure to subscribe to become a cake nommer. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, hi Max. You just came just in time. So what do you think about this Peppa's house?
Good.
It's good?
Mm-hmm.
Is it the best thing you've ever seen?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, guys, look. So, I'm going to be showing, like, okay, sorry, I have to drop you a little bit. But there we go. Here is the whole Peppa Pig's house. Here's what it looks like. There we go. So I'm just gonna ascend and just go like that. There we go. Bye, guys. See you all in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.